Alright, well, still a pretty slow day, which we don't care about. It's actually only got 2 buys and 2 sells. XOM and FRT on the long side, and MMD and EOG on the sold side. So let's take a look. I think I just posted this one. I need to get rid of these lines since we reset everything once we sell something, and it is not on the scan, so we're not worried about it. And MMD was not on, that is a CEF, so we'll do a little 9, so 1993 on the day. Doesn't seem like much, but we're keeping our average up. But let's see. Oh, wrong one. So we'll punch in the 1993 in profit, and that's still keeping us at 87.89. So we don't do anything other than sit back and pull in those dividends. So we'll see what happens for tomorrow, but the rest of today, let's see if we got anything that might be close. Let me get the mosaic because it's a little faster to leaf through, and we'll start with the ones that are obviously green because they'd be the ones that would be closest to closing out, just to give us an idea. I'll get started at the bottom. Okay, so EOG is out. CFFI, boy, it got close. It's only good in horseshoes and hand grenades. So maybe tomorrow. Never know. We get 2 possible. Seems to me like you're going to get another charge up here. But, you know, money just keeps coming in. If you're going to get a true pullback, you definitely see, or a correction, you definitely see a lot worse than this. But it's interesting. But I don't go off of what ifs or some weird line on a chart. All we're doing is using math. Yeah, everything else is pretty flat. Yeah, so let's go look at the other accounts. Oh, wrong one. Get that onto mosaic. See if we can get these ones to line up. Takes a little bit because there's so many of them. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for what happened here. There we go. Okay, BXP. Yeah. MTB is close. Like you say, don't count your chickens until it actually hits. Just a floater. Eventually, you know, when you get a complete correction, of course you're going to get stuck with whatever you have in your portfolio, but in the meantime, you can be trading it. See, people get stuck in this mode where they're scared to death to do something on a day-to-day basis. Now there's MMD, see, goes up, hits, and then comes back down. This is a perfect example why you trade and you don't hold. You don't know where this is going to go. So we got out, we took our profit, and the sucker could, and MMD is sitting at 102 on dividends, right? We don't know what the reason is, what the cause is, whatever. Maybe they lowered it, I don't know. But it took out a bunch of, well, I don't know if it took out stops or what, but and it ramped up there almost $2 higher, and we were able to cash out. I'm going to take a picture of this. And this is an important lesson here. If you don't, take your profits, you're going to be stuck with this stuff, and you don't know if it, it could go back up, it could come back down. If you get stuck with it, you keep your dividends. But this is what you got to remember. You got to keep this in the back of your head. Always take profit. We just happen to be using the dividend amount. And a lot of people don't understand that, and it's pretty simple. But when you start with a small account, you have to go for small profits. You can't turn $1 into $1 million on one trade. It's impossible. So we'll just take this one for example. You say, okay, we got one share, $2.76. That's what you're going to try to make, right? But look at the size of the account, 70. You're under 100,000, so you're doing 10% of the max shares. Max shares is probably going to be no more than 14 shares and no less than 1, or no less than 10 on max shares. So you do 10%, you buy 1, right? This way you don't get trapped. You don't want to get trapped way up here. I see this thing's down almost $10, right? If you had 100 shares, you'd be down, what, $1,000. You don't want to be, and most people, what are they doing? They're hitting their stops. So I only want to lose $100. So if it went down $1, you're out. You lost $100. You just automatically gave up that money. Why not stay in there and snipe every cent that you can out of the market? You BGH, there's one that's up, right? Our target's up here. This is something we would close on a down day. If something is happening in the market, like, I guess, was it early last week or middle of the week last week, where we took a few of these CEFs off the board that had decent profit. But as long as it's still showing strength, why bother? Here's your target price, right? But if I'm showing a 0 in this column here for the day, and it's getting down, last half hour of the day, I'm going to take some profit. So you can see these ones here from last week, right? This one and this one. Right? Week before, that was just actual trading. This is trading too, but they were forced, before their time. So keep that in mind when you're making your trades. So we got a lot of positives on here. Let's go back to Mosaic, just easier to navigate. What was that one CCD? I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, there's some positives in there, but don't sit there all day watching your screen. The money's going to come to you automatically. If you keep your trades within a reasonable distance from your mean, which is where you've bought at, it doesn't have anything to do with the mean, which would be the high and the low of the chart. That'd be the middle, right? People have all these interesting, I guess, strategies that they come up with, but they never stick with it long enough to see it work. And we're showing you something here that's been proven. We're working on 346 days here without a loss. I tell this to people and they're like, yeah, it's got to be bullshit, right? Well, take a look at it. Use the money management that we're showing people and poke a hole in it. Tell me where I'm wrong. If you think I'm lying to you, show me. I've got all the receipts. I've got statements. I manage over 15 accounts. You have to take the time to learn it. If you're not going to learn it, I can't force you to do it. All I can do is show people. You don't understand it, you need to try to figure it out for yourself or ask me some questions. I'm not going to, what can I tell you? Say, well, how are you ever going to make any money like that? Well, you have to think scale. If you don't have any money, you got $10,000 or $25,000, you can double your money if you don't do anything and just investing in dividend paying stocks. You could probably double your money in 7 to 10 years. If you do nothing, right? That's adding no more money to your account. You add more money, course, you'll get there faster, right? So it's all dependent upon money management. It doesn't have anything to do with what the highest or the most popular stock is of the day. It has to do with money management. That's where they're steering you wrong. It's all hype. The Jim Cramers of the world, the people that are running around, selling their, fancy systems and all this stuff. I'm not selling any system. I'm just showing you how to manage money. And along the way, I pick stocks through an algorithm, through a scan that allows people to, either partake or not. I'm not doing anything special here. But this is what your big money managers do. But what we've done is scaled it down for the everyday trader or investor to get a leg up. But you have to be patient. Don't think you're going to turn that 10,000. These guys are making money. Now, if they have $3 billion in the market, they're making money off of dividends. Don't be fooled by all this fancy talk out there. All these guys online telling you, hey, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that. Hey, try this system. You can probably make some money in options if you're lucky, and you really put 4 or 5 years worth of full-time study and trading with, paper money before you even get started. But why waste all that time? Get your money making money. Dividends are easy. You don't have to think about it. If it pays dividends, it's a winner. Now, we have a cutoff. We don't want to take too little. We don't want to put our money somewhere where it's earning less than what the bank pays you. The bank ain't paying but, 0.5%? So you ain't going to get anywhere quick with that. But what are they doing with your money? They're investing it in CEFs, things that are safe. They don't even go into bonds anymore. I don't know. It's hard to say because bond rates are so friggin' low. I mean, where do you put your money? You've got really no choice. You have to be in the market. And most of these companies are going to continue to pay their dividends. Maybe they reduce them. Maybe they increase them. Study up on dividend-paying stocks. Now, the trick is finding the ones that are paying, and you've got a better chance at making an occurrence on a trade. See, from this mean at 104.79 to this red line up here, this is your sell limit at 106.90. That's your dividend. That's your dividend amount for the year. You're trying to get it, what you're going to get paid in a year, sooner than a year. If you can do it in a week, great. We do it all the time. It's just we don't know when it's going to happen, but we're targeting those. So what else do we got here? So we've got, so far this month we made 966.82. So if we can surpass the 15.99, what do we do? We were 16.37 the month before. So I figure we're probably going to be around that same amount. If the dividends stay about the same, it's, with the buying and selling plus the pay dates, depending on the whether they're quarterly or monthly. We like to have a lot of monthly payers. That way we constantly have income, right? And what that income does, it allows us to, it goes into your cash account. We do no dividend reinvesting. That's a no-no. They're called dividend reinvestment plans. They're called DRIPs. Because if you buy something above your mean or your average cost, you're actually losing money. If you buy it below, you're increasing your money. Your average is coming down. So you're that much closer. So if you bring your average down, you're still targeting the same amount, meaning you've doubled the amount of shares that you have. In this case, be 1. So now you'd have 2. If we wait until it comes down here, we're going to be about halfway. Now we'll have 2 shares, still targeting the same amount of dividends. Now you have to think into the future. You can't be thinking, if you're thinking after you see something, it's too late. You need to be involved. You know, the fear is the biggest thing you got to overcome. If you're worried about losing $1,000, you know, you need to just practice. You're not going to lose any money if you're constantly bringing dividends in. In some of the best cases, I like to see what we got. Where is it at? CLM. There's CLM right there. This has been a mainstay in a lot of our portfolios because it pays 17%. So we get 175 shares, and that's probably at the max shares. So we can't buy anymore. Now we check them on a month-to-month basis, right? So we can increase them if, one, they show up on the scan, and two, the dividends or the max shares have increased. Or if they decrease, what we can do is we can take some money off the table. In such case would be like BGH. Let's just say, let's take a look and see. So max shares are showing 162. Let's just say they're down to, I don't know, 120. Just, you know, round number. You could take 42 off the table right now, right? So, you know, we hadn't looked at it in a while, but I'm in no rush. It's not a big deal. It's paying dividends, right? Monthly dividends, 10 cents. Fixing to pay another one here. What's the date on it? 2 days. So you're going to get another, how much is this? We got 149 shares multiplied by $1.27, just round it up. That's for the year. Divided by 12. Oh, that's not right. Hold on. 149 times 0.1056. Yeah, 1573. So you're making 1573, which is 7.6%. It's actually a little bit more than that because you paid less. But you can take your, what is it, 15, what's the dividend amount? 0.1056. Wrong one. 1.2672. Divide that by 1545. It's actually 8.2% you'd make on your money. See, the 7.6, when the price goes up, your dividend yield comes down. So it's just something to keep in mind. But what else do we got going here? All dividend payers. So we can go in and look and say, okay, this one's paying 10 cents. This one's 41 cents per quarter versus per month. Works out to be about the same, 10 cents. You know, 3 would be, what, 30 cents? Quarterly is 40. So you're actually making a little bit more on the quarterly payer there. Because that's dividend, not the dividend yield. So it's important to remember that. See, like this one right here is at 90 cents, so it dropped, right? It was 106, and when did it drop? Just this month. Well, it's dropped for the last 2 months. So it's not paying as much on the dividends, right? So this is one that we could actually close out and just take the $4, right? Because you see it happening. So let's just take a look at it. I don't care what the chart shows, right? But we could get at it right now because it's actually falling below what we want, you know, on a monthly basis. But think about it. It's still paying roughly 6.6%. So it's one of those type calls you're like, okay, it's $243, right? Is it 1 or is it 2? Yeah, I mean, you could sit on it. I mean, it's a personal call. But $1.20 is our minimum. But when you see these starting to drop, it's really your call whether or not you want to pull it or not. But where are you going to get 6.5% on your money? I don't know why they're dropping it. Don't care. Now, if it goes to 0, I don't put any more money in it, right? But if on the same CEF, if it comes down to this 50% mark, and I need to have an alert in here. If it comes down to this 50% mark, I'll buy some more. So, and these don't move much. It's like $1.20 higher than that point right now. So I can buy another 18, then my average cost is going to be here. Then this is actually going to change. So we can change this. See, we know it's 90 right now. So let's go back in here. It's a good learning experiment for people where this is how you manage your account. Okay, plus multiply, plus 90 cents, and we have 18, so we'll just add what? 5, what? 6 cents because of the dollar. So we're just going to move it to 14.50. So it's at 14.60, so now we can reduce it, right? And that's strictly because of the reduction in the dividend amount. So we're just that much closer. Right? We're still targeting the dividend for the year amount, even though it's below 90. Now, if it was a quarterly and I was positive on it, I'd just get at it. But on the monthly pair, I'll take it at 6.6%. These are small accounts, so you want to keep that cash flow coming in. Larger accounts, you start to see a little bit heavier movement, especially when you get into the $300,000-$400,000 account. What you're going to find is that's going to be 5 times that value, right? So this would be 5 times, be like 20, boom, you're out, But I'm talking on a quarterly, not on a monthly pair. Monthly pair, we try to keep those in because they have a tendency to go up and down with their dividend amounts. I've seen it happen. Like this one's been dropping, right? From 10 to 9 to 8.5 to 8 to 7.5. Maybe it's going out of business. I don't know. Don't care. But I'm not going to hinge my decision making on emotion or news. It's paying a dividend. I'm taking the money, right? And if this has been in the account for 5 years, I'm well over halfway the value of that 243. At six, let's just say it's 7%. It takes 10 years to double that $243. And that's not adding any money. Okay, that's not dollar cost averaging. That's not doing anything. That's just saying the price just stayed right there, didn't move. We couldn't buy any more. Blah blah blah. Whatever the reason, and 6.6%. But we have plenty of other ones that keep on bringing money in. But now when you start getting up into the thousands of stocks that you own, thousands of businesses that you own, you'll start to see the picture a little more clearly and how fast dividends can increase your bottom line. You don't have to do anything extra. All you got to do is manage your portfolio. And if that means 2-3 hours a week, do it. I mean, the amount of money you're paying somebody to manage your account right now, if you have an account, is a good chunk of what you could be reinvesting. So learn it. If you're not good with numbers, just you have to get good at working with numbers. It's not really, everybody knows money. If you have trouble with money, maybe you need to take some classes. I don't know. But yeah, we got about 6 minutes left. What else was I going to talk about? Let's take a look at the cryptos. Yeah. So we got back in about 2 hours ago on Litecoin at 264. We're looking to get out at 290 again. This would be the second time today. And Bitcoin got back in at 43,197. Looking to get out at 45,357. It's at 44,225. We already looked at Litecoin. Ethereum's kind of just sitting tight. It's been a day since we purchased anything there. And Bitcoin Cash. Oh, and just before the close, we sell MTB. Just like I was talking about. Let's take a look. Let's go back over. Let's see what we got. Got 442 out of that. And let's take a look at the chart. MTB. There it is right there. And here's the chart. We gotta save this chart image. MTB. Post this to Twitter. And what did we make on that? 2.6. Profit 2.6%. All right, so we're out on that. Oh, we got a fight going on Twitter with Peter Schiff and Michael Saylor. That should be interesting if they ever get together. Oh, sold TMP. That's on another account. Let's go over here. Go to Classic. I think it was on this one. Yeah, TMP. Just before the close. This is why we show these, because we normally get a few pushes towards the end of the day. This is when all your action happens. Nobody really understands it, but it's institutions, in my opinion. Sold TMP. And we bought MGRC. What was it? TMP. That was 2.6. I gotta go take a look at MGRC. Where did that end up? On this one. So MGRC 85.66 plus 74 plus 50, 89.95, 87.95. All right, as you can see, we sold it last week and we bought it just a little bit higher. But some people would be like, well, if you had held it, I'm like, yeah, but that's not our rules. So we fix up our charts here, because we don't really care about the chart. We're more concerned, well, if we can get the thing to work right. What we're concerned about is just getting a 50% pullback in the 6-month chart. And we just use this tool to achieve that. It's rare that we have this pullback, but when it does happen, it just makes our life a little easier. So be prepared to hold your stocks. So MTB, we're out of that. We'll remove that. Market is actually closed now, so we're going back in and just fixing everything up. What should we make of? MTB was 442. Let me go over to TMP. Close this out. And let's see what we made off of that. Damn it, wrong one. Keep hitting the wrong one. 436. Okay, so let's so use the calculator. These small ones, you know, you ought to feel good about, you know, bringing in easy money. So 28.71 plus your 66.78, that's $100 a day. That's 25 grand a year if you can do that consistently. So you can go here, 28.71. All right, so we're still at 88.69. That's so far this month. So MGRC is in. Yep. Okay, yep, we're good. But yep, that's it for today. You know, slow day, but we'll take it. We'll see what comes in tomorrow. We'll in the off hours just keep on collecting money in the cryptos. So you can hit about $120 a day in cryptos plus another $100. That's $220. So now you're getting up to about $1,000 a week. I don't know what else I can tell people, but you got to be persistent. You got to have patience, and don't listen to other folks. Listen to yourself. Get the rules down. I promise I'll get this book together as fast as I can. It'll be more of an instruction manual, so like with flow charts and everything else, so you'll know what to do in whatever case. But you can always find me online because it's more fun for me to teach people how to do this. And then, you know, you can laugh at all the people that are, you know, taking big risks. And, you know, you're going to find those people that make these big hits, right? But then they don't know how to manage money and they lose it anyway. So it's no big deal. But when you realize that, hey, you don't want to be risking everything you've worked hard for in your life just to have it thrown out the window because somebody gave you a tip, you know, the tip is invest in dividend paying stocks. That's the golden goose right there. Oh, I just wanted to check this one last one before I sign off here. Yeah, so here goes silver over again. They were over max shares, right at 354 versus 308. Yep. So till tomorrow, maybe I need to check on that BGH. I'll write that down and see if it's over or under. It has flattened out a little bit, so I don't know. But we'll take a look at it and see. We might reduce it a little bit, might increase it. Who knows? Anyways, have a good night and keep up the fight. Later.